All right, ladies and gentlemen, time to switch gears and head to English. All right, we got to put on our English thinking caps now. So give me those green check marks in Blackboard, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know that you're ready to begin today's lesson and where we're heading. And we shall get started. All right, so we've got about an hour and a half today for English. So we'll see. I want to give you guys lots of work time again. Perfect. Good. I just see everybody's green check marks coming in here. Perfect. So Brianna, if you're there. Kaylin, give me those green check marks. Emery, Eric, Jonah, Costin. Perfect. So, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I have been furiously marking your good copies of your descriptive paragraphs. And some of you may have gotten my feedback already. And those of you that haven't, those will be coming this afternoon. I will finish those off today, I promise. And we are now heading into a little bit of different type of writing. We're still going to work on our paragraphs, still work on our paragraph structure, all right? But now we're going to do a different type of writing. So we really focused on a descriptive paragraph last time, really delving into one idea and really describing it in detail, looking at our word choice, right? Now what we're going to do is we're going to look at writing a narrative. Okay, so you can still use imagery to create your story, right? That can still be very engaging to a reader, but it doesn't have to be as descriptive as a descriptive paragraph would be. So that's where we're heading today. Remember last day, we talked about point of view, okay? And that is going to play into our narrative paragraph. So please don't forget point of view. That is very, very important. And all the attributes and factors that play into point of view and how that contributes to our opinions, how that contributes to our conclusions, right, that we see in a different scenario. So here are your learning targets for this morning for class. I want you to be able to recognize how different forms of text reflect different purposes, audiences, and messages, okay? I want you to recognize That's what I want you to be able to do today and over the next couple of days, next couple of classes. All right? Now, when you head to the assignment, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to see this true little story. Now, what we're looking at today is a piece of children's literature. So very, very different than, say, over the last couple times I've made you guys look at some poems. I made you read a short story. Now we're looking at a little bit different. We're looking at a children's book, okay? This is the true story of the Three Little Pigs. Now, what do you think in the room chat, before we even look at the story, okay? What do you think this story is about? Okay, I want you to make a prediction. Now, what is important when you make a prediction, okay, is that it's a smart prediction, okay? So look at the pictures, look at the title of the word. What kind of clues can you get out of that image to give you a smart prediction about what the story may be about, okay? This is also another reading strategy that you can use when you are reading a piece of text, right? I'm giving you transferable skills here, people, okay? So when you open up a textbook, right, some of the very first things that you can do is look at the titles, look at the subtitles, right? Look at the images that are on a page. It's a reading strategy that I'm giving you guys here, all right? So in the room, I'm just gonna bring up our Blackboard here, you guys. Good prediction. Okay, so Emery, do you think this one's gonna be a lot more realistic? And Jesse, you think that this is gonna be flipped on its head? Okay, excellent. Those are great predictions, okay? Now, some of you actually may already know the story, and that's totally fine. Really, we are doing this twofold, and as we go through the story, I'll explain why we are looking at this one specifically, okay? So those are some great predictions. Anybody else have a prediction about what this story could potentially be about? If you only knew what was happening in the green screen room right now, you guys. Like a crazy hand. Hi, Mr. Borden. All right. I want to give you guys time. Good, thanks, Costin. I knew you were writing a response there, so I didn't want to cut you off. Good. So, Costin, you're on Team Emery, looks like, right? Oh, sorry, not Team Emery, Team Jesse. Okay, good. So you guys think the story's going to be flipped around. That's awesome. Now, here we go. Now what I want to do is let's head back to my PowerPoint here, you guys. And there's a different way that I want you guys to be looking at this, okay? So we've made a smart prediction at the beginning of the story. So we haven't even read the story yet. Now we already have a little bit of an idea of maybe what could be happening in the story. Here's what I want you guys to do. I only want you to watch half the story. So I've actually given you the story in video format, okay? I only want you to watch half the story until about, and I think actually my times are off here. So let's only watch till about 2 minutes into the story, okay? So as you're watching, just watch until the timer says 2 minutes. Then I want you to go back to the room, and I want you to make a prediction about what's going to happen next. Okay, so now you've seen the first half of the story, what's going to happen next? And I want you to type it into the room chat. So again, only go for about 2 minutes into the story, all right, into the video. So I'm going to put 2 minutes up on the timer then, you guys. Come back to Blackboard, type into the room your prediction about what happens next in the story. Okay, so go ahead, 2 minutes, you guys, start watching that story. All right, so you should have watched the first half there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to bring this up so that we can now type our predictions of what's going to happen next. Brianna, when you are in, and I'll just show you, scroll down in your English course, right? And in that next assignment, the narrative paragraph rough draft, I'm just going to open it up in a new tab. Okay? If you scroll down right here, you'll see right here, this is the video that you should be watching right there. Okay, Brianna? So really quickly, you guys, in the room chat now, okay, let's take 1 minute. What are your predictions for what is going to happen in the next half of the story? Awesome, Christina. Good. Awesome. Perfect leads. Love it. Love the creativity that you guys are heading to as well within your predictions. Perfect. Now let's see if you guys are correct. All right. So let me head back here to my PowerPoint. And now what I want you guys to do is watch it right to near the end. Okay, so again, I think my timing is off on my slide. You guys don't go to 5:20 because you'll watch right to the end. Okay, I want you to go right before the end. So I think it's around, like, let's go to 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay, so I'll put just another 2 minutes. Let's just watch another 2 minutes of the video. Let's make it easy. Let's just watch another 2 minutes of the video. Okay. And then we'll make another prediction about the ending of the story. How do you think the story is now going to end? Okay, so let's just watch another 2 minutes and we'll make another prediction. All right, so go ahead and get started on that, you guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so let's now make a prediction. We watched the next 2 minutes. Let's now make a prediction, you guys, into the room chat again. Okay, so good. I see Jonah already predicted again. Fantastic. Thank you. Good. I really, really appreciate you guys making actually really smart predictions as well, right? We're not going off base and talking about how the wolf is gonna shoot up into space and find aliens and, right? That's not a smart prediction. There's no reason to think that. The author doesn't give us clues that aliens are now going to be involved in the story, right? So I like that you guys are still using this technique to really making smart predictions. Now tell me what's going to happen at the end. Good. Nice, Emery. Awesome. Love it. Perfect. All right. I still see Jesse typing, so I want to give everyone the chance to make sure that he's good. So Jesse, maybe he starts getting some mental issues, hey? Good. Excellent. All right, so here we go. Now let's head back. I'll head back to my PowerPoint. And let's go now, okay? Now let's go in and watch the rest of the story, okay? So let's take just 30 seconds, you guys. And as you're watching the end of the story, all right, I want to know, why do you think I made you read or watch this story, okay? Why? So finish watching the end, and then in the room chat, why did I have you read this story? Okay, so let's take 2 minutes and do that as well. Okay, go ahead and get started. Good. You should have been able to watch the end of that story, you guys. So into the room chat, let's chat about, first of all, was anybody right in their predictions? If you were, just type a quick little yes. Or even give me just a green check mark and Blackboard too, you guys. Was anybody right? No, Costin, you weren't right. That's okay. But you probably made some smart predictions. Hopefully. Cross my fingers. Oh, is it Jonah? That's okay. Do the best you can. Yeah, you're right, Leeds. Emery's was really close. All right. Now, had anybody actually heard the story before? Has anyone actually seen or heard that story before? Just give me a green check mark. Let's make it quick. You don't have to type into me. Give me a green check mark if you had heard the story before. Really? I'm surprised. I'm surprised that more of you guys haven't heard the story before. But that's good on my end. Introduced you to something new. So now in the room chat, you guys, can you now type in why? Why do you think I made you watch that story? Very good, Maddie. And, right? Exactly. And, thank you, Leeds. That's right. And it ties into what we talked about yesterday, right? Or last class, through point of view. Perspectives change everything. Exactly. In the original story, the pigs had a different perspective of what was happening versus the wolf, right? The wolf came off as mean, and right? Versus this story, perspective changes everything, okay? It changes the tone and text of the story. It changes how the audience interacts within the story, right? You have probably different emotions and feelings towards the pig versus the wolf in each of those stories, right? So perspective changes. I love that, Kaylin. Perspective changes everything. So now, yeah, for sure, Ian. And that is that outside influence. It can affect our conclusions. It can affect our point of view, right? Especially if we watch only one source, right? If we get all of our news information from CNN, that is going to bias our point of view, right? For sure, right? Exactly. Good, Brianna. So now this is where we're heading, you guys. Just let me bring up my slides here, and we'll go over the logistics now of what I want to accomplish for this assignment, all right? Now, we're going to tie everything back together because that's what I love to do, right? I don't like to be all hodgepodge. I love tying back what else we've talked about. So you are going to either, you have a choice here, go with the same life event that you wrote in your descriptive paragraph, right? So if you wrote about a trip, if you wrote about a specific experience, whatever it was, you can use that same exact topic, but now you're going to write from a different point of view. So maybe it's from a different family member that experienced the same thing. Maybe it's even an experience or a point of view from an inanimate object. Maybe it's a point of view from an outsider. Whatever it is, you guys have tons of creative authority over this, okay? Now, I don't want to hold you guys back. If you want to go back to your EKGs or whatever and choose a different life experience, totally fine. You do not have to use the exact same topic that you did your descriptive paragraph on. I just think it's cool that you guys can really show, just like the Three Little Pigs, right? We saw it from the pig's perspective and we saw it from the wolf's perspective, but it was the exact same incident, right? So that's why I'm making you guys, I would like you guys to choose that same life event, but now you're gonna write at it from a different point of view, okay? But I still want you guys to try to keep your paragraph as descriptive as possible. Does that make sense? So we're gonna tell it as a story, keep it as descriptive as possible. We're building on our skills, okay? But now we're gonna throw in a twist and we're gonna write from a different point of view, okay? Now, this is just some quick descriptive paragraph, we can use the same criteria that we did for the descriptive paragraph, and we can throw some of this stuff in as well, right? So for example, in your descriptive paragraph, we had this right here, right? We had grammar, for sure. Grammar is always important, okay? But we can compare some of this stuff to what we've already discussed as well, right? We want to make sure the language, the word choice, right, in your experiences. What I would love is a little bit more of the different senses. What did you smell? What did you taste? What those other emotions that we have, okay? Really explore that and expand on that for your narrative paragraph, okay? So I think the criteria is kind of set. I'm going to go back and make sure that the criteria is all laid out for you guys, okay? And that's where I want to go with the criteria. I don't think that we need to go into a whole co-constructing thing again, because we've talked about this when we were talking about our narrative paragraph or descriptive paragraph, okay? Now, I believe for your rough draft, you guys, I put in the same template. So I've used the hamburger template again for you guys to use. And that's what I want you guys to do today. That is what our focus is using the next hour of our time to start thinking about the topic that we're going to do. Am I going to use the same life experience event that I talked about in my descriptive paragraph? And now decide what point of view am I going to write it as? And then downloading the hamburger template and putting into my detailed description, right? Now, make sure you guys, and again, I'm going to make sure that the assessment, the criteria is up in the assignment to make sure you guys can go back and reference it. I really would love to see you guys, before you even submit your rough draft, go through with a highlighter, whether it's on paper and then you upload and scan it, or whether it's highlighted from your computer on the Word doc, doesn't matter. I really want you to highlight those aspects where you think you're hitting the criteria, okay? This is where I am creating great detailed word choice and highlight it, okay? That sort of thing. Just to make you guys start seeing the connection between your own writing and the criteria. Can you self-assess and really, oh yeah, look, I made a grammar mistake here. I need to go back and fix that, right? Oh, right, punctuation, really important. Make sure all my words are capitalized. I've got all my periods, that sort of thing, okay? So I really want you guys starting to make that connection between why I make you guys self-assess, okay? It's a skill that you need for the rest of your life, right? Believe me, I have to look at my own work every single day and self-assess whether or not I'm doing a good job, right? What was my goal today? Did I reach it? Okay? So that's a really, really important life skill. So that's what I would like you guys to do. Once you're done, right, complete your rough draft, highlight your criteria, and submit it to the assignment, okay? Make sure you give yourself a mark out of 5 as well. All right? That is English. I want to give you now the rest of the class, you guys, to actually work on your narrative paragraphs. So this is the time where I'm going to say goodbye on the live classroom. I'm going to head back to my office. Give me 5-10 minutes to get back there, you guys. Once I'm back there, I'll check in with you guys, see what topic you've chosen and what point of view you're going to be writing from. All right? So great job today, you guys, and we will see you back in Blackboard in a few minutes.